On the 16th of April 1746, the final Jacobite rising came to a brutal end here at Culloden Battlefield. The battle that took place here was between the Jacobite supporters seeking to restore the Stuart monarchy to the British throne, and on the opposite end was the Duke of Cumberland's government forces, led by Prince William Augustus. It was the last ever pitched battle that took place on British soil, and in less than an hour, around 1,600 men were slain. 1,500 of them were the Jacobites. This forever changed not only Scotland and Britain's future, but also had ripples around the whole world. The battle is not as simple as just the Scots versus English, as many people do tend to think, as both armies had both Scottish and Englishmen within their ranks. The British government forces, however, did not allow Catholics within their ranks, and the Jacobite army who were trying to restore the Stuart monarchy, who was the Catholic ruler. The Highland army had attempted to launch a surprise attack at night before the battle, but with the poor Scottish weather, and as well as men searching for food, it had not reached Cumberland's camp by daybreak. It retreated to a field of battle 5 miles east of Inverness, which is here at the Culloden Moor. The battlefield was ill chosen, as it afforded a clear field of fire to the Cumberland's artillery. The Highlanders were cannonaded for nearly half an hour without effective reply. Orders to attack passed slowly down the Highland Army's chaotic chain of command, but eventually the Highlanders were unleashed. They charged across the 350 yards, or 320 metres, of ground separating them from the enemy. On the left flank, the MacDonalds never reached the British line, but the large Highland regiment on the right, Clan Chattan, smashed into Barrell's 4th and Monro's 37th Foot with great force. They were repulsed after fierce hand-to-hand combat, and only a few Highlanders fighting their way through made an unavailing attack on Cumberland's second line. At this point, the cavalry regiments of dragoons, along with Kingston's light horse, began to work their way around the Highlanders' flanks, converting defeat into a rout. This pursuit extended all the way to Inverness. Between 1,000 and 1,500 of Prince Charles Edward's men were killed. Few were wounded. Cumberland had drawn attention to enemy orders captured prior to the battle, which suggested the Highlanders did not intend in taking prisoners. Although the authenticity of these orders is disputed, but it seemed his men had taken the hint. The casualties on Cumberland's side were significantly lower, roughly 50 dead and 259 wounded. Bonnie Prince Charlie escaped the battlefield and after many adventures reached France, but the Stuart cause was forever ruined. He returned to Italy and Rome, where he lived out the rest of his life, failing to restore the Stuart monarchy, and lost his triumph. Within 10 years of the battle, Highlanders were being recruited into the British Army in large numbers to fight in Germany and North America. By the time Sir Walter Scott was writing in the early 19th century, Highland daring do had become cloaked in romantic legend, and in stark contrast to the harsh measures employed in the wake of Culloden, King George IV and later Queen Victoria gave the royal seal of approval to all things emanating from the Highlands of Scotland. By restricting French interference at home, Culloden paved the way for global expansion for the British Empire. It also safeguarded the succession of the House of Hanover. They are the ancestors of the present King Charles III. The events that followed united the nation in such a way that over 270 years later, Culloden remains the last battle to have been fought on British soil. The closest we have had since was the battle over Britain against the German Luftwaffe and the British RAF. With the decisive defeat of the Jacobite army here at Culloden, this marked the end of any serious challenge to the Hanoverian dynasty, securing their rule within Britain. Following the battle, there were harsh measures were taken and implemented to suppress the Highland culture, including bans on traditional dress, the Gaelic language, and the playing of bagpipes, leading to significant social changes within Scotland. With the Jacobite rebellion quelled, the British government could focus on building a stronger military, contributing to the expansion of the British Empire globally. Culloden remains a potent symbol in Scottish national identity, representing a moment of loss and oppression, while also fueling a sense of cultural resilience.